Hi, my name's Kate. I'm a librarian at the main library. I work in adult nonfiction up on the second floor. One of the things that I do at the library is select the books that are in our poetry collection. This is a good fit for me. I like poetry, and I was fortunate to have two parents who enjoyed poetry as well. Today, I thought I would read a poem that was very special to my father. When he was already pretty elderly, he took a bad fall down the basement stairs and had to go to the hospital, of course, and then spent a long time in a rehabilitation center. He referred to this afterwards as his incarceration. So he would say, during my incarceration, and you would think, when was this? But he was talking about the time he spent there. So that gives you an indication of how he felt about it. While he was there, this particular poem was an inspiration to him. He knew it by heart and was able to recite it to himself and to other people who were there with him. He's not the only one who was inspired by this poem. Nelson Mandela actually was incarcerated on Robben Island. He too knew this poem by heart and recited it to himself and to other people, other inmates who were there with him. The poet is William Ernest Henley. He's a British poet. He published this poem in 1888, so in the late Victorian era. He knew quite a bit about suffering himself. When he was 12, he contracted a form of tuberculosis, which required that he have one of his legs amputated a few years later when he was 16. He was facing a second amputation, but instead decided to go for some risky new surgeries that would save his foot. And during his recovery from those surgeries is when he began to write. And this was one of the poems that he wrote while he was recovering. If you know a little bit about poetry, you might guess that I'm talking about Invictus. Invictus, the title means undefeated. And this is that poem, Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I hope you're inspired by this poem as well. April is National Poetry Month. If you want to celebrate, you might want to visit the website poets.org. They have a lot of poems on there and information about different ways to celebrate. And of course, all of the library's e-books providers have poetry collections, so you may want to check those out as well. Thank you.